Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Eric with SweetSpotDFS, and this is my DFS review video for the 2022 Bermuda Championship. I'm going to recap everything that I went over earlier on in the week before the tournament to see where we did well, where we didn't, and where we can improve. I'll also look at the GPP winning lineup versus the optimal, and I'll provide some giveaways at the end of the video. If you want to see where I'll cover all of those things, I have timestamps in the description below. You can also find those timestamps on YouTube's progress bar. All you got to do is hover over it, and you can find them there. That way you can skip to whatever part of the video you want to see. But let's go ahead. Let's get into this. I'm going to start with a little bit of a recap. This is my results page. You can see Lucas Herbert won. It's his first PGA Tour victory. 15 under is what he ended up winning by. And he edged out Patrick Reed and Danny Lee, who both shot 14 under. These were scores we kind of talked about a little bit earlier on, I think in the preview video, where you know, anywhere between 15 to 20 under could win this tournament. It all just depends on the wind. And really, Thursday morning was the worst round of the entire tournament. There was really high scores. I think there was a 4-shot disparity. I think the average score was like 74 Thursday morning, and then Thursday afternoon was like 71 or just a little under 71, something like that. So that was definitely the worst day. So if you did make your lineups based off of the PM/AM wave or AM/PM wave, you probably did okay. And then you can see the rest of the guys in the top 10. Taylor Pendrith had a lead going into Sunday, a pretty sizable one. I think he had a 3-shot lead. He was at 18 under, I think, or 17 under, one of the two. And you can see he dropped to 12 under. Probably a better view to show you guys is going to my dream sheet. Let me hide some of this information that we probably, we can keep everything on here. But you can see Lucas here shot a 69 in that final round to edge out Danny Lee and Patrick Reed, who Patrick Reed shot a 65, which was really good. Here's Pendrith, shot a 76, is a par 71, so he's 5 over par on Sunday, which was a little disappointing. He's a rookie on tour, super talented, definitely a name to consider like in your DFS lineups going forward. Just unfortunately he didn't do well. But that's as much as I'm going to do with the recap. I didn't really get, well, we all didn't get to watch much of the Bermuda Championship. I just got a few reports here and there talking about how difficult some of the weather was, that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to harp on that any longer. What I'd like to get into next is looking at the $5 GPP winning lineup versus the optimal lineup. The $5 GPP, all the golfers here in this light blue color. So the winning lineup had Lucas Herbert in it, Patrick Reed, Scott Stallings, Russell Knox, Graham McDowell, and Garrick Higgo, who finished 34th place. Still scored some decent DraftKings points. GPP winning lineup used up 49,900, so they only left $100 on the table, and this goes into everything that I've ever said to you guys. You don't need to leave a lot of money on the table to win a GPP. There's no point. And that winning lineup scored 586 points. Now, the optimal lineup are all the golfers with a little black tick marks here. Lucas Herbert, Danny Lee, Patrick Reed, Taylor Pendrith, Scott Stallings, and Vincent Whaley. And your actual top scorer is Danny Lee, who finished second. He scored 6.5 more points than Lucas Herbert. This whole entire optimal lineup, which is very fitting for it ending on Halloween, scored 666.5 points. I mean, just 0.5 for some of you guys who are superstitious, you know, that feel bad about this. Didn't quite get the devil's number, but it was pretty darn close. And we used up 49,500, so you only left $500 on the table. Again, furthering my point, you don't need to leave a lot of money on the table. Really, you don't. Most of the optimal lineups are over 49,000. There are a few that are, you know, leave thousands of dollars on the table, but that is too hard to predict, too hard to get the lineups correct. Don't do it. And most of your GPP winning lineups are 49,800 and above. So another great way to prove to you guys that you don't need to leave a lot of money on the table. So that was your GPP versus the optimal. Not going to go any further into that. Let's go ahead and talk about the sweet spot rank. So let me throw a filter on this. And the rank is what kind of drives a lot of the lineup building for me. So like this will drive the marquee tee time pairings, but it'll also drive my optimizer and how it selects golfers is based off of the rank that happens. and whatever criteria that I have. So my number one ranked guy was Patrick Reed. He finished second, so that's great. And what I'm trying to get, my expectations for my ranking is I like to see at least 4 golfers in the optimal lineup within the top 20 of this field. So I do have it sorted by, top guy all the way to the bottom guy. And as you can see, all the way down to 20th place, Chad Ramey is my 20th ranked guy. I have 3 golfers that were in the optimal lineup. So we're really close. I knew I was going to have some issues with some of these guys who have, like some of the rookies that have no PGA Tour stats, or I don't have, any way to kind of determine their potential. Not yet, at least. So you're not going to see a Taylor Pendrith up here. We're not going to see that until he gets enough PGA starts. But I am trying to figure out a way how to determine potential, and I would love that to be another stat added to my scoring, just because then we could probably get the Taylor Pendriths up a little bit. I don't know where he's ended up ranked. He's my 38th ranked golfer, which isn't terrible. But if I'm looking through some of these guys, I mean, personally, I'd put him above Grayson Sigg. I'd also put him above Kiradech Afi Barnrat. Although I did talk about Afi Barnrat during the preview and the strategy video quite a bit. Kind of same with Camilo Villegas, but in time we'll get there. I'm okay with this. I'm kind of happy to see three optimal lineup golfers inside my top 20. So it's kind of a break even point for me. It's not necessarily a win, but it's also not a loss. Like I'm glad to see that I could have gotten to some really good lineups, allowing the optimizer to do its work, because it would have landed on some of these guys. I mean, it landed on Lucas Herbert 20% of the time. Also, Patrick Reed. I limited Reed's exposure, but I still had him like own 16% in my lineups. And I created 94 unique lineups, entered 103 contests, but 94 unique lineups. So yeah, I mean, I had a lot of the right guys, just didn't work out for me. I ended up coming out break even, so it was all right. I get to play with the same money I went into this week into next week. With this, obviously, I do like to talk about the Marquee Tee Time pairing. So obviously, if you're not aware, I do this 2/3 rule. So 2/3 of the field gives me a number. So there's 120 some golfers in there because of all the withdrawals and stuff. 2/3 of that was like 84 or 82, somewhere around that number. And if the 3 golfers in the group, if their collective sweet spot rank score was under that 84, I'd highlight them this dark green color. So you can see Russell Knox, Ryan Armour, or Austin Cook. That was part of my Marquee Tee Time pairings. And if you're with me in the strategy video, you knew there were only 4 groups to speak about. So what I like to get from here is, usually I tell you guys, I mean, all the time I tell you guys, select 2 golfers from the groups you see ahead of in front of you, but don't select 2 from the same group. So like Patrick Reed and Garrick Higgo, I wouldn't say pair those guys up together. Sure, the GPP winning lineup did, which kind of tells you you can do that, but usually I would want to be like a Patrick Reed and a Peter Malnati. Now Malnati only scored 5.5 more points than Garrick Higgo. It's still a victory. He still beats out Garrick Higgo. You wanted to go more Patrick Reed, Peter Malnati if you were to pair some guys up. Now, Malnati was not in the optimal lineup, but still, you could have done it. So these are the Marquee Tee Time pairings. Patrick Reed's the only guy in the optimal lineup, which kind of is unfortunate because usually we see 2 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times finishing inside the optimal lineup, but we only have 1, and that's okay. I mean, if you did go Patrick Reed, Peter Malnati, I created 1 lineup at least with them because I did all the different combinations you could with pairing these guys up together. You had the potential to take down a GPP. You just needed the other right pieces, which then leads me to my next spot to talk about, which I did also have kind of subsequent, which is kind of cool. So I had these I want to call them subsequent or secondary Marquee Tee Time pairings. There were 5 groups to talk about, and hey, we had the winner in one of them. So I guess collectively, like, it was really close. We almost did have 2 golfers in the optimal lineups within the Marquee tee time pairings, but I'm not going to go with this. Where I was going, though, was talking about, I'm going to sort this out, and then I'm going to take out everybody but the top 10, because the bucket system's only looking at the top 10, and that's where we're going to. We're going to review the bucket system. So of the golfers here, here's what I'm going to suggest for you guys to do. Screenshot this, because then you can see all the bucket scores right here. So when I go to the summary page, we can talk about all the buckets that did well and that did not do well. So out of, we didn't have course history buckets. Let me just open that back up so you guys can see. I had no projections for course history buckets. So if I take away course history and we talk about the remaining buckets, that means we have 30 eligible buckets to talk about. Of the 30, only 3 of them failed to meet their projections. And you can see 2 of them, you know, if I highlight this column, this is the low end, so it didn't reach whatever the minimum was here, which I had 1. I said you wanted to play at least 1 last year 1 golfer. We had 0 that were in the optimal lineup. Same applies for recent form 5s. I told you wanted at least 1. We had 0. On the other side, recent form 4s, I said you wanted a max of 2. Like, this number I know shows 1.06, but we always round up. So 2, we actually had more than that inside the top 10. So if we go back to this sheet here and we look at our recent form 2s, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we actually had 2 that were inside the optimal lineup, which we could kind of say, hey, that worked for us. You know, we wouldn't have wanted more than 2, but as I see it, I think, I don't know, 0 to 2. You know, that is my rule anyways. I'm gonna mark the screen just so you guys can see it, because you didn't want more than 2, because only 2 were in the optimal lineup, so it works. So out of 30 buckets, 28 of them hit their projections. So again, another successful week with the bucket system. Like I said, take a screenshot of this page, because this is our top 10. And then all the golfers with the little black tick marks, you can validate this yourself. That's why I say screenshot it. If you don't care to validate it and just take my word for it, just know 28 out of 30 buckets hit their projections, which then you add this to the number we had last week. And I should actually have a running tally of this. But I think we were at, what, 85 out of 87 buckets over the 2 weeks prior, or the 3 weeks prior, were successful. Now we can add, you know, 28 out of 30 to this one. So we're what, like 115 or 118, something like that, of buckets hit, which is well, it wouldn't be 115, would it? No, it'd be like 113. 113 on 118. It's pretty darn good. So the projections are hitting their marks. Bucket system was great. So that kind of recaps the preview and the strategy video. In the prize picks video, it was kind of a break-even week for me. I really didn't gain much. Probably lost more in football. So the next time I pull it up, you're going to see a little bit less than what I came in with this week for golf. But I like to dabble in the football here and there. But it was pretty much break even. But what I had said, you know, with the strategies of rounds 2, 3, and 4, you did want to look at the weather. You wanted to look at the wind. You wanted to make sure, you know, you were playing the right stacks. And you were looking at the projections, because we did go to, and I should have updated this one for the 2022 buckets, but we did use this page to try to figure out what our average score was for both, you know, for all the entire time this tournament's been played. Most of the projections were right around 70. And you can see, you know, 71 in 2021, but you had 70 in 2020. The projections were pretty conservative. And as long as you had the right golfers from the right waves, you could have really taken advantage of prize picks. If you tailed me with Nick Watney, I gave you really good tips with Nick Watney. First day didn't turn out that great, but second and third day I picked on him. And that's where I won most of my money for the week on golf, was on Friday and Saturday's round, just using the strategies that I did in the Prize Picks video. So hopefully you saw that. I think that's really all that I need to talk about when it comes to the recap here. Buckets did well. Marquee tee times were okay. The sweet spot rank was really good. All in all, everything kind of rated out well. And I made most of my money back. Like, I had some really good lineups that, and I think I had like 27 out of 94 lineups hit 6 of 6 through. So it was really good. Just happened to be my lower end guys didn't do that well. So that was unfortunate. But I do want to congratulate Mr. JP Losman for taking down the quarter jukebox. I don't remember, quarter arcade, something like that. Longtime supporter of the channel, longtime supporter of SweetSpotDFS. Hey man, congratulations. I'm glad someone in the community, that him and I talk all the time on Twitter, bouncing ideas off each other. So it was good to see Mr. JP Losman win, which goes on, or which kind of has me segueing into our giveaways. So we hit our goal of 250 subscribers finally. It took 4 weeks to do it, but hey, we got there. And within those 4 weeks, remember, your entries just keep being added until we hit the goal and we run the contest. So as I look down, we have 44 entries. And hopefully, if you have something, if you object to what I have, or you don't see your name on here and you're like, hey, I definitely commented and whatever, you can reach out to me. I can always add an entry to like the next giveaway, but I'm pretty sure this is 100% correct. So we have Bermuda Championship, Zozo, CJ Cup, Shriners, and Fortinet. So it's actually 5 weeks of entries. So with that being said, moving this to a yes, we're going to find our winner. Drum roll. Our winner, by the way, forgot to mention this. Let me pull this down and pull this up, because if you recall, this giveaway was worth 20 bucks. I did this in the review video of the last video, or the last review video for the Zozo. Yeah, the Zozo Championship. I said if we hit 250 subscribers, I'm going to give away $20. And then in the preview and the strategy video, I had said we can double that if we get to 275 subscribers. And then I would add $20 if we got 2 new Prize Picks signups. We didn't get 2 new Prize Picks, and we didn't get to 275. So there was an opportunity for you guys just to win $60 on that alone, plus those new Prize Picks entries. They were going to be added to the Prize Picks giveaway. So there was an opportunity to win $80 this week. Unfortunately, there is not. So we have $20 to give away. Let's get back to it. This right here, everything's random. I will give you 5, or I'll give you 4 additional, just to show you that it is random. But this is our winner right here. When I click this Y, Gabriel Brown, you are a winner of $20. I'm glad someone like you won, because you shot like Harden, Scott Holdridge, who else? We have a bunch of guys that are always commenting on, so it's good to see Mr. Brown win. But yeah, if you guys want to win $20, by the way, Gabriel, reach out to me, sweetspotdfs@gmail.com, to figure it out. I think I already have where you want me to send it, but you win $20. For the rest of you guys, so this is all going to be cleared out for the next week. Our next subscriber goal, or our next goal, is to get to 275 subscribers. So hey, if you're not yet subscribed and you want to start, because this is going to start fresh, the entries are going to be fresh. It's going to start right back to square one, or 0, whatever you want to call it. Everyone will get a fair chance to win. So if you're not yet subscribe, because once we hit 275 subscribers, we'll run this giveaway once again. Yeah, Mr. Gabriel Brown, congratulations. Just to show you guys that this is completely random. Are we just going to keep hitting Gabriel Brown? There we go. Scott Holdridge. There we go. And really what it's doing, there's formulas in here. This is actually equaling Y1. If I go over here and I look at Y1, it shows here. If I hit this contest, it's just providing a random value over here. It's a nifty little Excel function. So there's nothing that I'm doing to try to make these results happen. So either way, Gabriel Brown, you're the winner. I'll put your name here in the past champions. Like we can already see you are a Prize Picks winner, so that's awesome. We're gonna make this 1031. There you go. You are back on the wall of past winners. Those are our giveaways. So quick video this week. I was hoping to make it as quick as possible. I don't have anything else, so we'll see you in the preview for, oh gosh, I can't even remember what the heck the tournament's called. It's the Mayakoba Golf Classic. Used to be called the OHL Classic at Mayakoba. It's being played at Mayakoba. I think it's like the World Wide Web of something. But we'll see you in that preview video and start afresh of new giveaways. So thank you guys for watching this one. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.